This is the main airport in Shimane Prefecture in southwestern Japan. A family is moving back to Brazil after 13 years. Seeing them off is a man who goes by the name of Paizao, or Big Daddy. He's been a pillar of support for many Brazilians working in Japan. Izumo City's Brazilian population has doubled to more than 3,000 since 2015. But that trend could change.
But we can't allow China to rip us off anymore as a country.
对于贸易战，中方不想打。
Tensions have risen between the US and China. Manufacturing businesses in Izumo City have been reeling from the effects. Many Brazilians have lost their jobs.
すごい働き者なのでね、それもぜひ使ってもらいたいなと思ってますので。
Paizao has been trying hard to help them find new work. But then comes another blow.
コロナの関係で面接が対面でできないので、なおさら日本語ができないと面接も受けれない状況にあるので。
Many Japanese see foreign workers as the key to solving Japan's labor shortage. But their situation is far from secure.
こんだけの人間使って使い捨てになっています。このまま続けたら日本人の自分の首を絞めると同じ。
Over the span of a year, we follow Paizao's efforts to help Izumo's Brazilian workers. Workers in uniform get ready for their morning commute. They are all from Brazil. The company they are heading to makes electronic components for smartphones and self-driving cars. Worldwide, it has the top market share in its industry. These workers qualify for a visa system which allows mainly second or third generation foreigners of Japanese descent and their dependents to live in Japan. This restaurant is popular among Izumo's Brazilian workers. It's called Paizao. The owner is Takinami Sergio, a Brazilian of Japanese descent. Paizao, or Big Daddy, is his nickname. Customers come for its Brazilian cuisine and a taste of home.
Por causa da comida. A gente sente falta, né, da comida brasileira. Eu sempre venho aqui porque aqui a gente consegue matar pouquinho a saudade, né?
Ah, mas pode ser. ブラジルの方が何人か来られたら入れるとこあります。
Paizao also helps Brazilian residents with problems at work or in daily life. True to his nickname, he's like a father to them.
Tá perguntando por que vocês fizeram questão de mostrar aqui.
Ah, é meu amigo. Paizão é muito amigo de muitos anos. Então ele é meio que o símbolo da brasileirada aqui, né?
Dá meus parabéns, hein?
Arigato, paizão, arigato.
Carne, né? Depois de grande a gente vai ver.
Vai vir aqui comer uma feijoada.
Vai vir direto, hein?
É. Arigato gozaimashita. Arigato gozaimasu.
家族ような感じやね。みんなおじいちゃんおじいちゃんって言われるから子供孫たくさんおりますもん。
Paizao came to Japan in 1992 when the first wave of Japanese Brazilians began arriving. He held a job at a factory for 16 years. Then, using his savings, he fulfilled his dream of opening a restaurant. But that very same year, the global economy plunged into a recession. Many Brazilians were laid off and left Japan. Paizao's revenue plummeted, and he lost his restaurant. But he was determined to stay. He got a fresh start with a food truck and moved around. 5 years ago, with help from a former customer, Paizao settled in a place with a growing Brazilian population, Izumo City.
いろんな人に支えられたり、もうやめたらもう終わりだから、これからの努力しながらやっていったらいいんじゃないかって言って励ましを受けました。だからもうできるだけのことを人を手伝ったり、いろんなことをやっていこうかなと。
He started a non-profit to support Brazilians and deepen mutual understanding.
僕は本当言ったら生まれがブラジルだけどお父さんお母さんはみんな日本人です。コミュニケーションを取りながら仲良くしてほしいのが僕の狙いです。
Paizao's customers have been approaching him with a new kind of problem.
E 15 dias de serviço é muito pouco, né?
15
mês passado.
16 dias foi muito pouco. Esse mês agora que passou de novembro foi 20 dias. Agora
20 dias?
deu para trabalhar 20 dias. Vai ter mês ali que eu pego 15 dias.
Nossa, aí é duro, né?
É duro, mas fazer o que, né? Tem que batalhar.
Eles acham que pouco...
The U.S.-China dispute has weighed on trade. Production is down, and workers' incomes are plummeting.
ブラジルから来て出稼ぎで来とるので、もうしっかりしてない仕事ばっかりこうなんていうの、そういう仕事しかしてないよね。契約が1ヶ月か2ヶ月ぐらいのとかね、ほとんど蓄えがないような感じで。
A man has come for advice. Yendo Fabio lost his factory job and needs to find work.
Eu tentei achar colocação aqui, mas o emprego aqui foi difícil. O problema é que eles falaram que por ser estrangeiro, eles não queriam, não aceitavam. Aqui essa região...
Não tem aceitação assim, dessas maneiras, né? Eles têm medo que gaikokujin, né?
Fabio first came to Japan in 2007 in search of a stable job.
Senhor, te agradecemos pelo alimento que vamos comer. Muito obrigada, Senhor, que não nos falte
He moved to
nada.
Izumo with his family 4 years ago and had hoped to continue living here.
Pronto? Você quer mais quê?
But recently, the manufacturer's subcontracting company, which had hired him, gave him an ultimatum: transfer to a factory in another prefecture or quit. He was told the factory in Izumo was cutting production. Fabio ultimately decided to resign.
Não é uma questão de insegurança, né? Não saber o dia de amanhã, né?
Então tá bom.
There's a reason he doesn't want to leave.
Isso. E cada um...
Ai, quer aqui.
Fome, querendo comer, e a gente sem dinheiro pra ficar gastando, porque não dá pra ficar comprando coisa, né? Uma hora desse jeito. Assim.
His 2 children have developmental disorders.
Para 30 dias.
He and his wife say local schools and hospitals are more supportive than in other places they've lived.
Conta os dias e coloca aqui dentro. Ela foi até o médico as 2 vezes que eu pedi, que eu solicitei. Ela foi lá para explicar, porque eu disse para ela que se preocupa se eu tô entendendo tudo que ela está querendo passar ou não. Gratidão. Muita gratidão.
The kids have gradually started learning Japanese. They're foreigners with a disability, but other kids don't bully them. Fabio and his wife want Izumo to be their children's home. 3 years ago, they bought a house.
Ser lugar bom para criar filhos, os filhos não sofrerem de medo, eles terem uma escola que tem um apoio muito grande para estrangeiro, tratam bem os estrangeiros da escola. E esse é o motivo principal para a gente ter ficado aqui.
The number of foreigners in Izumo has grown because of the manufacturing firm's expansion plans. But workers who lose their jobs have a hard time finding other work in the city. Paizao visits the city office. He wants the government to encourage companies to take on more foreign workers.
やっぱり日本に来て夢見てくるんよね。こういう方たちをもうちょっとね、住むとことか働くとことかもうちょっと何かをしてほしいよね。それを不安で働いてるよね、中で。これいつ俺切られるかと思うぐらいね。だからそこをなんかしてもらいたいよね。
Fabio's unemployment benefits have run out, and he has no source of income. Paizao has given him a temporary part-time job at his restaurant.
諦めるっていうんじゃなくて、もうお前はな、どうにかして自分で生きていくことを考えてくださいって言って応援してやったらなんか前に行けるかなと。
senhora quer aparecer no TV também.
On February 6th, unexpected news comes in. Fabio plans to return to Brazil. He's looked for work for 6 months with no luck. He has decided to leave Japan.
Esse aí vai?
Não tem mais turma.
Não tem, filha, mais turma, né?
É.
Porque agora, quando você chegar no Brasil, você vai fazer os seus amiguinhos novos, né? A gente não vai poder agora. Agora você perdeu a turma aqui e vai lá.
Que teve.
Né? Tá bom? Tá bom.
There's still $200,000 left on their mortgage. They'll have to keep making payments for more than 30 years.
Porque nós estamos saindo por falta de opção. Não porque nós queremos, né? Na minha verdade, eu me vi aqui aposentado. Como se estivesse deixando uma parte de mim nesse local.
It's the day of their departure.
Essa tá aí?
Ainda não.
Não, do México.
Do México.
Cadê? Passagem.
Paizao is by their side until the end.
Não, eu tô falando, eu quero... Não, só pode ser dois ao lado, ó.
じっとしておらないので、人に迷惑になってしまうので。では、dúvida agora? Não, né? Tá jogo já, né?
Paizão,
Obrigado.
obrigada por tudo que você fez por nós, tá? Deus abençoe.
Tá bom.
Um abraço na...
Sofia.
Oi, Adinho.
Sofia, vem falar tchau pro paizão.
Tchau, tchau.
Papai.
Se cuide, hein?
Obrigado, Paizão, por tudo.
Qualquer coisinha?
O senhor também. Se eu precisar, o senhor fala como é que eu faço pro senhor.
Tá bom. Aí.
Obrigado.
Tchau, tchau.
Faz bye bye.
E a minha mãe dele. Vou até até os amiguinhos.
ブラジル人がここに来て家まで買って一生懸命やろうと思っとるのにそれの勢いを止めてしまおうということだよね。もうちょっとできたらいいかなと思う片面なかなかねなんていうねもう別れのあれは一番嫌だね。
The major electronics components maker had been relying on the Brazilian workforce. We asked the company about the wave of departures, and received a reply in writing. The company explained that because of declining demand, it has adjusted production by reducing work days. It says, Japanese Brazilians are valuable business partners for continuing our manufacturing activities. However, although we have taken various initiatives, we haven't been able to prevent them from leaving. It's March.
Vou entregar esse papel aqui para você, tá? Sobre emprego. Bom, o semana aqui, né?
There's good news. Thanks to Paizao's efforts, the city is planning to hold its first job fair for Brazilians.
Tá bom então. Opa!
Then, 5 days before the event, the fair has been postponed to prevent the spread of COVID-19. The following month, a worker at the electronics components plant tests positive, and it shuts down for 3 days. 7,000 workers, including Japanese staff, are asked to stay home. That night, several Brazilians gather at Paizao's restaurant.
É 3 dias foi avisado, vou falar. E saiu no homepage da Morata, de 3 dias.
Vamos ver o que é. Se for 3 já tá bom ainda.
In mid-April, a nationwide state of emergency is declared. Paizao receives a flood of messages asking for help.
Ela já fez 3 entrevistas e não conseguiu entrar, porque agora fala que é por causa do coronavírus, que é para esperar depois de junho.
Cartilha de emprego, né? Para ver o que está interessado para você ou não.
Pedro Azevedo is hunting for work. He's been out of work for 6 months. With Paizao's help, he has applied for positions even outside of Izumo, but he has already received 10 rejections.
Sobre do negócio de tempero. Lá não tá tendo jeito não. Tem 20 pessoas esperando. Tem, mas só que o meu...
Coronavírus está complicado, porque está tudo parado. Se não fosse isso...
Today, Pedro received yet another rejection. His frustration is building. He and his wife Kazuko came to Izumo 4 years ago. They wanted to earn money to pay for their 3 children's education. Kazuko still works at the factory that laid off Pedro. But because of production cuts, she has fewer shifts. There have been months when she has worked only 15 days. Her monthly income is down by $1,000 from a year ago. Expenses include their children's tuition. Even with Pedro's unemployment benefits, they are barely getting by.
Não sobra nada. Não sobra nada. Sobra aí, acho que 20 mil, se sobrar.
COVID-19 is spreading rapidly in Brazil. Going home isn't an option. Pedro has visited the public employment office several times with no luck.
外国人の方を積極的に採用したいよというのがいっぱいあるんだけど、全部この日本語の会話、日本語の会話、日本語の会話というのがついてるので、まあね、読み書きも大事なんですが、まずはお話、日本の方との会話ができないと就職難しいので。
Eu teria aprendido, só que onde eu trabalhava lá na Mulata não exigia falar nada.
コロナの関係で今面接が対面でできないので電話面接でやるらしいんですよ。で電話面接ということは表情も見えなくって日本語の会話だけなんですよね。となるとなおさら日本語ができないと面接も受けれない状況にあるので。はい、ご苦労様でした。ありがとうございました。
Eu estou preocupado, se acabar, como é que eu vou fazer? Então eu tenho que se virar, eu tenho que procurar um emprego de qualquer jeito, eu estou se virando.
Já veio todo mundo? Já. Veio? Opa. Essa é eu. Então eles não vão fazer de qualquer jeito.
5 Brazilians have gathered at Paizao's restaurant. He has found a company that's interested in hiring foreign workers. Pedro is here too. They all make their way to a factory in town. It manufactures window and door sashes and has about 20 employees. Each of the products is made to order and hand-assembled. The declining Japanese labor force has made it start thinking about hiring foreign workers.
Corta aqui, aí vai o torta do jeito que o projeto pede. Por isso que não é só um jeito só. 必要だったら僕ら何時間か何日間こう来て手伝って一緒にやらさせてもらうこともあるんですね。もあります。
The trip ends in disappointment.
コロナの関係で、実際この場が、制限かけてますわ。今日来週から来てくださいみたいな今日返事ができません。正直。
The factory is operating at half capacity and doesn't need additional help right away. management is planning for the future.
もうぜひ使ってほしいよね。これ会社もやっぱり1人でもいい2人でもいいから入れてもらって、厳しいこともあるかもしれんけど、それはもう乗り越えるしかないので。
おはようございます。
Yendo Fabio moved back to Brazil. The pandemic is causing upheaval there as well.
Por enquanto está parado aqui, né? Como está em lockdown, então... Não cheguei emprego porque quando eu cheguei aqui, eu tinha visto emprego numa empresa de um amigo meu aqui, né? E como agora com esse coronavírus parou tudo, então a gente está em suspenso ainda, né?
São Paulo, where Fabio lives, is at a standstill. For nearly 3 months, all economic activity has stopped, except for necessary services.
Sofia, olha pra mamãe.
Medical treatments for his 2 disabled children have also been suspended. He has to pay for their medication and is living off his savings.
Esse tipo, não sei te falar por quanto tempo que dá para aguentar, não. Mas é melhor, eu penso muito na família, né? Porque se eu sair para trabalhar e trazer doença para casa, não vai adiantar nada.
Paizao has stood by his Brazilian friends through tough times. Today, he's preparing a field in Izumo City. He has decided to start farming so he can offer work to those who have lost their jobs. He has managed to rent about 1,500 square meters of idle land from local farmers.
片手間でちょこっとやるんかなと思ったら、自分でトラクター買って持ってきたんですから、ちょっとびっくりしちゃった。
僕がやらんかったら誰も始まらないので、何か始めといて、こうやってできますよって言って、新しいことをどんどんこうやって続けていくしかないと思ってます。
Has Japan truly embraced foreign workers?
悪くなったらやっぱり人がいらなくなってくる。仕事が出てきたら人不足になる。そういう悪循環があるので、自分さえ良かったらいいんじゃなくって、みんなでやりましょうっていうことをね、考えしてもらいたいよね。